Florida LGBTQ plus Democratic Convention says GOP will not erase our children, trans, or LGBTQ. Hundreds of Florida's LGBTQ political leaders met this weekend at the Florida LGBTQ plus Democratic Caucus winter meeting called Turn It Up, Turn It Out. The three-day meeting in St. Petersburg was ironic as the legislative session is going on in Tallahassee. The session is turning out to be the greatest assault on LGBTQ rights in Florida history. The LGBTQ plus community is under full attack by Governor Ron DeSantis and conservative GOP lawmakers. The Capitol has various bills working through committee, including assaults on children in schools with Don't Say Gay. The woke bill to encourage parents to sue schools and teachers if their children feel uncomfortable in the classroom with LGBTQ language. There's even legislation moving to ban books in libraries and more. A comprehensive selection of dynamic panels were held at the caucus on trans rights, librarians talking about how to face book bans, teachers discussing free speech in classrooms, and many more. This year, midterm elections are vitally important as the LGBTQ plus community faces vital attacks at all levels. I had exclusive interviews over the weekend with Congresswoman Val Demings in her very first LGBTQ plus interview in her campaign against Senator Marco Rubio. She arrived, by the way, riding her Harley Davidson motorcycle. Demings passionately explained that she had 3 children of her own and said that DeSantis, quote, should keep his hands the hell off our children, end quote. I also had an emotional exclusive interview with former Governor and Congressman Charlie Crist. The candidate for governor to unseat DeSantis discussed his reaction to Florida in national and international headlines over what Tallahassee is doing to the LGBTQ plus community. Crist simply replied, quote, it's embarrassing, end quote. There was also a firebrand speech from the only out lesbian in the Florida legislature, Michelle Rayner. She is running for the U.S. Congress and had a blistering assessment of the politics we are seeing against the LGBTQ plus community. Her interview with me afterwards was akin to being in a Southern Baptist church with the preacher who is preaching up a storm, but advocating for the LGBTQ plus community against hate. A highlight for me was a live interview for conference participants as we connected via satellite with Senator Shevrin Jones and the first LGBTQ, he was the first LGBTQ Florida Senator, and Carlos Guillermo Smith, the first Latino LGBTQ plus Florida legislature, as they both discussed from Tallahassee what they are facing in the Capitol. You will see these interviews and much more this week exclusively on Queer News Tonight.
Wow, you had a busy weekend.
A busy weekend.
Yes. No wonder you didn't answer my text. I just wanted to know what you thought about my red dress. Damn.
He's rubbing elbows with all the political elite. You know?
So Demings showed up in a motorcycle, a Harley, not even a motorcycle, you know. Like I'm talking about it like it's a big wheel. A Harley Davidson, like that.
You know, it was the first time that I met Congresswoman Demings. She was the mayor of, or I'm sorry, she was the police chief of Orlando. Right. She gives that vibe. She walks in the room and you know,
she owns it.
She owns it. She walks in owning it, and I'm sure that that is partially her experience in law enforcement. Arrives on a motorcycle, she does a speech and just literally slays it. I mean, just floored everyone. And then I was going to talk to her immediately, and we were going to do 10 minutes, and I waited for about 40 because she was mobbed. Wow. And so many people, autographs, pictures, and then she was very gracious and stood with us to do the interview, and wait till you see the interview. It is really just incredible.
Wow. And then what she says to our governor is so spot on. Keep
out.
your freaking hands off our children.
You know, what's going on with the book ban is so reminiscent of Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit
Exactly right.
451. If you ever read the book, if you ever read the book or saw the film, it's quite alarming. I mean, I feel like we're really living that out in real time.
Yeah.
And yet, they won't ban guns. I mean,
Right?
I mean, it's just the most wackadoodle thing, and what an embarrassment the state continues to be, in spite of how fabulous.
Well, and you know, interesting, the observation that you just make, I echo again. Charlie Crist said exactly what you just said. I tried to set him up to say, you know, Florida is exporting this. 7 states since Florida started this have now taken up the same type of laws. This is a playbook that is being created by conservative think tanks, and they're being followed.
Which is a misnomer, really.
Right, an oxymoron.
Oxymoron.
And I asked Governor Crist, you know, you were the former governor of Florida as a Republican, by the way, and now representing the state as a congressman, and now you're running for governor to unseat DeSantis. I asked Congressman Crist, I said, will you please confirm to the LGBTQ community that you are not running for president of the United States in 2024? And of course, his reaction is, thank you for that. There's only one candidate running for governor that is running for president of the United States in 2024.
We all know who that is.
And exactly. And then I asked him in terms of his reaction of the reflection of Florida nationally and internationally, and he flatly, right to the point, to what you just said, I'm embarrassed.
God, that's crazy. Look, I know that we're going to see a lot of this week, your interviews, etc. But I got to ask you about the lesbian, Michelle Rayner. Like, she is amazeballs.
Faye.
No pun intended. Like, she is like amazing.
You know, I thought about you as I was watching
she
her
single?
speak. No.
You're not.
She's not.
You're married.
I'm
girl.
sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Beautiful black woman.
Yes.
And I'm not kidding you. When she speaks, she's electric. I thought about you because I was thinking, oh goodness, Faye would just be thrilled to be talking to this congresswoman or to this House representative. She's the first lesbian, but she's running for the U.S. House of Representatives. She is going to bring. There is a headline that came out of the weekend, and I forget what paper around the country, but the headline is basically, this black lesbian may be the greatest thorn in Governor DeSantis's side. And it was a bullseye headline because she cocks her head, side eyes, and then goes, okay, now let's read you to filth, and reads to filth. And so smart, so smart. We're going to hear a lot from a Representative Michelle Rayner. Pay attention. Yeah. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBT